How do I suggest the church go about doing indigenous land acknowledgments without it sounding like a virtue signaling exercise? Well, as you'll see, I'm wearing an Every Child Matters shirt. I support my indigenous siblings, and I acknowledge and bewail the many ways in which the church has, through its misinterpretation of scripture and theology, attempted to erase or effectively erased indigenous cultures and peoples from the face of this earth. What is an indigenous land acknowledgement? Well, it is a statement that is usually read at the beginning of an event that acknowledges the native indigenous tribes that existed in that land at one point in time, and it acknowledges their elders past, present, and emerging, and it's usually a commitment to work with them on ensuring education of their peoples and their customs and traditions. So how do I suggest the church go about handling conversations that doesn't sound like a virtue signaling exercise? Well, one thing is actually doing some behind the scenes work in the congregation and educating people about the indigenous peoples in that area, and educating them about the relationship between indigenous peoples and the church, partnering with indigenous peoples that are from the local area and including them in the education process, and also maybe potentially a financial contribution to these Native American indigenous peoples to ensure that they have the ability to continue educating people about their tribes and what their tribes did and who their tribes were. So that's, again, how I would suggest the church goes about handling conversations about indigenous land acknowledgments without it being a virtue signaling exercise. Hey, peace and blessings, y'all.